Hey guys, I'm going to show you some nice additions to my game, Saturn 7, but before that, a couple of little updates. You've already known perhaps the particles have a transparency property now. So fully transparent is 255, standard is 0. A couple other adjustments on the terrain. Get information is because you're going to get 3 informations back on a vector 3D. I have to split it up into multiple different ones. So I've got terrain surface as normal, texture ID the first main one, the second main one, if it's blending two textures, that is, and the height. Get terrain heights will get you the height of the terrain surface at that location. It's more of a generalized height. It's not necessarily the exact height. If you need the exact height, there is actually another API I've written, I haven't put here, called Gerrit Terrain Height Exact. That's more specifically exact to that triangle that it intersects. Anyway, so this is a pretty close estimate of the triangle on the terrain. It gives you back the height, then the minimum height of the terrain and the maximum height of the terrain. So if you need to use that for anything in your game, which I do in mine, so I've put that. Then I've got terrain, get terrain texture angle height. That'll just give you the main ID, the angle of the surface, and the height as well. So I need different things at different points in my game, so I've split it up into 3 APIs. Yeah, there is another one as well. Get terrain height exact. That's very more exact to the exact part of that triangle that intersects, not just the height of the triangle itself. Alright, so I'll show you a bit of my game. I think you might like this. Okay, so as you can see, pretty nice, not a bad looking terrain, is it? It's not too bad, really. But I don't say so myself. Yeah, I had to play with the textures quite a bit. I did a lot of pre-blending into the textures before I put them into the terrain, and then they were blended further into you know, where it joins one texture to the next. It blends that part, but they're already pre-blended in a way, so it sort of looks a bit more realistic. I think that's pretty good, isn't it? It's not too bad. Maybe that sand color is a little bit too bright. Should be a little bit more redder color, perhaps just a fraction. But anyway, yeah, it's not too bad. I'll show you the it's a dust devil. It's not really a tornado, dust devil effect. I'll push. Okay, that's at the lowest level. That's 10%. 10% wind, as in very light wind. So you won't see many around when there's only 10% wind. Get a couple here and there. But as the wind intensity goes up towards 1 or 100%, it'll make it look very different. There'll be a lot more of them when they get a lot bigger and more louder, everything else. So this is just using standard particle effect. Yeah, it seemed to work okay. I mean, I tried a lot of different ways to get a decent looking tornado effect. Copy cube using, you know, sprite sheets and stuff. I couldn't get a good sprite sheet. You've got to pay for it if you want a decent one, and I don't know how good that is anyway. Yeah, just couldn't get it. I tried to make it myself. Didn't work out too good. So this is not too bad. So I'll increase the intensity. 10%. I go 20, 30. Should get a few more now. A few more popping up around the place. 30%. Yeah. I'll just go a bit more. 40, 50% intensity. That's a bit more stronger winds. Yeah, and these dust devils, they'll move around the terrain a little bit. I've done it extremely efficiently, actually. I'm reusing the particles once they go out of certain distance, and once they're off the camera, as in you can't see it, as in they're like behind you or whatever. It'll recycle it and reposition it in front of the player. Yeah, so yeah, I had to play with the textures. It's got changing color, changing size, changing transparency, changing height, changing, yeah, the whole scale. Lots of things are changing in it, actually. The only thing it doesn't have is collision. I have to add collision to it later on, which is totally possible because there's not many particles. There's only about 30 in total. At the moment, there's probably about 20 because it's 50%, no, 15 or something actually. But at 100%, I think there's no more than about 30, not much more than about 30 particles in total. It's pretty, actually quite efficient actually how it's I've set it up. So many revisions, it's not funny. Anyway, let's go to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. It's a bit more like, isn't it? A lot of crazy duff devils running around, and they will change transparency according to the height and the angle of the surface, and also if it hits the really high top level texture, it'll just fade itself out and reposition itself somewhere else. Yeah, in front of the player, or around the player's direction generally. So it does use a bit of random calculation for that as well. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? Not too bad. Just, you know, it's alright. If it goes outside the size of the terrain, it'll fade itself out and reposition it somewhere else. Yeah. So it recycles it quite a lot actually. Yeah, I think it's alright. Played with it quite a bit to get it as good as I wanted. So many revisions on this, gosh, man, of so many changes I've made. But anyway, it fades in, it fades out, it recycles itself. Yeah, so it tests if it's when it wants to recycle something that's far away from outside of the camera view frustum, it'll check for that as well. Oh, that's a weird one. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's a few small bugs here and there. I'm just working through it, but it's you know, it's not too bad for now. And this is just a demo level. This is not even my main game. This is a demo level just to test out this dust devil effect. I'll add it to my main game once I've got it to a happy level, and then it will obviously look a lot better. You'll have proper sound effects from the wind. Everything will look a lot better that way. But the terrain itself's not bad, is it? The textures of those two textures mainly have sort of work together quite well. I think this sand texture, maybe it's a fraction too yellowy or browny. Should be slightly more red tinge to it, bit like slightly closer to the other textures. I think probably look better actually. Yeah. So anyway, these particles will follow me around the terrain. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, I've got just all the rotations. Each one is different to each one. Yeah, so they're all a little bit unique actually, and it changes color according to the surface texture of the terrain. There it is there. It's gone to a orangey color because it's gone it's found the main texture is different to the other one. It'll change accordingly. I mean, it's not super accurate, but it's, you know, it does something. It does sort of work. That'll just disappear off, get retextured, recycled elsewhere. Once it goes really high up a steep incline, it just I get it to disappear. I think that's the best way for it. Disappear from there and reappear somewhere else. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? I mean, the terrain itself is only basic. It's about 512,000 polygons. I'd like to increase, probably almost double that to get the polygon count up a bit more, so there's not so many sharp edges. But yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, that black box is supposed to be transparent. I haven't fixed that up yet. That's why you're seeing it. That's actually a 3D node that the particles are attached to. Yeah. I've got a few particles for some reason. That one over there, it hasn't increased in size. I have to work out there's a bug. It's like a little broken baby dust devil. It doesn't want to grow up. Anyway. Oops, and I know what that is as well. That little box appearing in midair. I'll fix it up. Yeah. But yeah, it's not bad. Sound effects pretty good. I got it off Unity website. The asset saw the not the particle effect, but the sound. Yeah, it works alright. Yeah, some of the textures in certain areas of the terrain looks quite good. Not sure if that rock texture is the most perfect texture, but it's not too bad. Yeah. I'm wondering if I should add I've got to add collisions to the particles, obviously, for indoor terrain, indoor areas. But I wonder if I should add a a player, something that affects the player as you get too close to it. Maybe, yeah, like coughing affects your oxygen, your breathing ability to breathe. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Bring down your oxygen level. Or just take damage, tiny bit of damage. Maybe that would work too. What do you think? Let me know what you think. What should it do to the player once he walks through it or interacts with a particle? So it's only a particle effect. It's only like basically 2D plane mesh that faces the player all the time. So it's not really 3D in effect. It's not really 3D, but you could, you could create a sort of a collision, sort of a 3D interaction area around it, a small area around it that would, you could do whatever if you wanted to. Yeah, I've turned the debugging off, but it wasn't really going to show you much anyway with it on. Yeah, it's not too bad. Waves around side to side. Each one is individual and different, with its own transparency, own fade in, fading out of each one separately. So it's not too bad, I think. Which way we go? Back this way. Yes, having like walking sounds. This is just a demo test level I just quickly put together so I can test out the dust devil. Okay, that box in the air, I know exactly what that is. That's I'll fix that up. That's the new API I created that looks for a close location around the player within a certain number of counts in the for loop. If it can't find it, it just uses the player position in front of the player that you sent through into the API. Just sends it back out. But I haven't adjusted the height. Just got to adjust the height, and then it will be right. It'll be fine then. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? Tons of these big ass. I could make them bigger, as big as I want, or small, small as I want. I don't know if I need to make them much bigger than that, do I? What do you reckon? I mean, you could make them any size, really. Yeah, so each one's got its own 3D sound effect going. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, actually. I quite like it. Adds a nice lot of, I suppose, liveliness to the terrain, to the atmosphere and the planet, in a sense. So I'm either going to make a suffocation damage that builds up as you walk too close to one, or immediately take damage to the player, like a very small amount. I'm not sure which one yet. So obviously you should probably be coughing and lose something from it, that's for sure. So it's very simple. You just have a distance from the center of the particle to the player, just check, and if you're in a certain distance, adjust some thing in the game. Yeah, so I've made a lot of changes. It spawns by default on places with the lowest angle, like flat surfaces. I removed the height difference. Used to only do it in low levels. I mean, that is probably more natural, more realistic. But I wanted to appear as much as possible, so I took away from it the ability to choose what height to apply. Okay, so theoretically it would have been nice to have one show up here. It will show up if I just wait a minute or two, but as it recycles the ones behind it. But yeah, maybe a bit slow. I may need to decrease the speed of that update so it can always have something in front of the player to look at. I think would be better. These certain parts of the texture works out quite well, doesn't it? Like that bit there looks pretty good actually, but other parts on the texture, sort of alright, just okay. But anyway, the red colours, yeah, you've got to make sure that they blend together properly, not too different. Otherwise, it looks weird. Yeah, so anyway, I think it's pretty good. Good for now. I'll have to add collision, and then after I've done that, I'll put it into my main game. Yeah, so anytime it's windy, we'll just see some of this stuff going on. So this is at 100% wind. Do you think it should be more severe than that at 100% wind? I mean, you almost never get 100% wind in the game anyway. It's a random generator, so, well, actually it's not entirely random, but yeah, you almost never get 100%. Yeah, the direction of each particle is different as well. It's random direction and amount movement for each particle, so they are all different, which is interesting. And they move according to the wind direction as well. Yeah, so whatever way the wind's blowing, they will generally go in that direction. So that works as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So let me know what you think, and let me know how it should affect the player, and give me some comments if you like. Cheers.